Hi everyone, my name is Michael Ifrim and this is my presentation for Intro to Engineering. It's called Building in the Danger Zone. Basically, I'm going to be talking about why it's important that we strengthen our infrastructure in areas where natural disasters are most prone. So let's get right into it. We all know the phrase, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and this can be no truer than when Mother Nature herself releases her fury upon us. We have seen extensive amounts of damage natural disasters such as Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey have done to structures. As time passes on, and with our changing environment, we should protect our infrastructure from whatever nature throws at us. Figuring out ways to strengthen residential, commercial, and industrial buildings are pertinent in significantly reducing the amounts of damage and also reducing loss of life in areas where natural disasters frequently occur. So, the issue at hand. States such as California and Florida have had a long history of natural disasters, with California experiencing earthquakes and Florida experiencing hurricanes. The only difference is that one can be tracked, while the other is instantaneous. No one knows when earthquakes are going to occur, which is why it's even more important that buildings be strengthened so that people have immediate shelter when an earthquake is going to strike. So on this slide, I've attached a graph that I've taken from statista.com showing the global total due to earthquakes from 2000 to 2015. As seen in the graph previous, you can see that there is a huge spike in deaths in 2004 and in 2010. This is due to the fact that most people cannot find secure shelter to hunker down in. If the buildings were stronger, the numbers would be significantly reduced. Not only are earthquakes a huge problem for buildings, but also are floods. Authors Cao Luwei, Liu Shugang, and Zhang Yuhe write in their journal titled The Journal of Natural Disasters that the economic losses caused by floods are in the first place among all types of natural disasters. Floods collapse a large number of houses and endanger human life and impact on production activities. Load code for the design of building structures considers normal loads as well as snow loads and wind loads. However, flood loads on the buildings are not included. If well-developed nations such as China do not have building regulations for flooding, consider other countries as well. Solving this would significantly help reduce not only the physical and emotional aspects, but even economic ones as well. All of these factors are viable reasons why buildings must be made stronger. Also, regulations must be enforced, if not harder, on structures in disaster-prone areas. So, how to handle this situation? Firstly, we must know what natural disasters occur in different locations, how frequently do they occur, and in which areas are the hardest hit. Earthquakes are the major Achilles heel in any structure, such as the Fukushima nuclear plant in Japan, which suffered the earthquake and tsunami back in 2011. Due to the fact since then it has been releasing nuclear radiation due to compromise to the structure. One solution to this scenario would be to thicken the walls surrounding the areas where nuclear material may leak if compromised. In doing so, if another disaster were to strike, there will be minimal damage to the building itself and its contents. In places such as Florida and the Caribbean islands, where hurricanes are most prone, residential homes made by concrete cinder blocks and strong concrete foundations prove to be the most resistive to hurricane force winds. In this, state governments should make regulations that residential buildings be constructed from firm concrete foundations and cinder block walls, as well as building these homes away from the coast to reduce damage caused by storm surge. Coastal areas should be left to commercial sites, like shops and restaurants, where building codes require them to be made larger and stronger than a regular 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. Another proposed solution for coastal areas are raised foundations, meaning constructing upon a raised mound of dirt, as well as larger seawalls to reduce storm surge damage. Areas that were most ravaged by Hurricane Irma last year specifically were mobile home parks, where the homes are made of very light sheet metal that can easily be ripped off by hurricane force winds. Author D. Wahlberg confirms this in his journal titled The European Journal of Masonry that, in comparison to masonry construction, lightweight building methods show no apparent economic advantages. The ecological balance is objectively equivalent, and the fire protection and sound insulation properties have to be provided technically and constructively at high cost in order to comply with the same requirements. Under consideration of a realistic and objective assessment, there is therefore no reason to promote the use of lightweight building methods such as a timber frame from their current status as niche products, especially for residential building. In response to this, one proposed solution would be to build these homes with stronger metals. Steel panels would prove to be a stronger alternative than aluminum, which most of these homes are made of. Also, these homes should be secured to concrete foundations that they are on, but in a way that they can be released if the owners wish to relocate. So I'd like to conclude my presentation by looking ahead on what we can do regarding infrastructure for the future. If we can come to resolve the issue of reducing the destruction left behind by natural disasters by strengthening our residential, commercial, and industrial buildings, people will be more comfortable living in beautiful areas such as coastal Florida and Texas without fears of their homes and businesses being damaged or of a nuclear power plant leaking radioactive material. This, as a result, will ensure the populace that in any emergency situation, there is immediate shelter to go to. It is up to us to make sure we protect ourselves for the future, making a structurally safe world for ourselves and for our children. Well, that concludes my presentation. Thank you all for listening.